points. In the previous lecture, we have solved problem based on intersection of a vertical cylinder and a horizontal cylinder. In today's lecture, we will be studying or solving problem based on intersection of cylinder and a square prism. So you can see in this figure that a vertical cylinder of some diameter and height is penetrated by a horizontal square prism of some length and base side. When the cylinder is penetrated by the square prism, at the junction of the intersection, that is where the two surfaces meet each other, we get curves of intersection. That is, these lines from here to here and from here to here are nothing but the curves of intersection. Now it is clearly understandable from the figure that the top view of the vertical cylinder will be a circle of some diameter, whereas the front view of the cylinder will be a rectangle. Also, the side view of the cylinder will be a rectangle of particular height. From the figure, it is also clearly understandable that the side view of the square prism will be a square of given side, whereas the front view will be rectangle and the top view will also be a rectangle. So for solving the problem of the intersection of cylinder and square prism, we have to follow some steps. The first step will be we have to draw the top view, front view and side view of the vertical cylinder. So in the first step we will draw the top view, that is a circle, front view a rectangle and the side view also a rectangle in the first step. In the second step we will first draw the side view of the square prism, which will be a square of some given side. After drawing the side view, we will project the front view and top view, which will be rectangles of some given length. So let's begin with the problem. Problem number 2. A vertical cylinder of diameter 75 mm and height 100 mm is completely penetrated by a horizontal square prism of side 40 mm and length 120 mm. So here the dimensions of the cylinder are given as 75 mm base diameter and the height is 100 mm, whereas the dimension of the horizontal square prism is given as side of the square is 40 mm whereas the length is 120 mm. It is also given the axis of the prism bisects the axis of the cylinder at right angles. So axis of both the solids are bisecting each other and they are perpendicular to each other. All the faces of the square prism are equally inclined to HP. This condition states that when we will draw the square prism in the side view, it should be drawn in the form of a kite, as it is already given that all the faces are equally inclined to HP. So in the first step, we will note down the dimensions of the vertical object and the horizontal object. So dimension of the vertical object, that is a vertical cylinder, diameter 75 mm and height is 100 mm. Dimension of the horizontal square prism, side length is 40 mm and the axis length is 120 mm. And the third condition it is given, the axis of both the solids bisect each other at right angles. So after noting the conditions given in the question, now we will proceed towards the solution. In the first step, we will draw the top view of the cylinder, which will be a circle of the given diameter, that is 75 mm. After drawing the top view, now we will project the front view and the side view from the top view. So top view, first we will draw XY line and then we will project the front view, which will be a rectangle of given height, that is 100 mm. Again you can see here that this part or this portion is kept as light because this will be removed when the horizontal square prism will be inserted inside the vertical cylinder. In order to insert the horizontal square prism inside this vertical cylinder, a hole has to be made inside this cylinder, and while making the hole, this portion of the cylinder will be removed. Hence this part from here to here is kept as light, whereas this part which will be remaining even after intersection is kept as dark. Now we will draw the side view. So we have drawn 45-degree line. Now we will project the side view from the top view and we will mark the height 100 mm from the front view. So we have completed the front view, the top view and side view. The height will be equal to 100 mm in side view also. You have to project the height directly from the front view. So you can project this line so that you can mark the height in the side view. Now we will mark the center of the cylinder or the axis of the cylinder. So this represents the axis of the cylinder. We will draw the axis in the side view also. So we have drawn the axis in the side view also. So this is the what is vertical center line is nothing but the axis of the vertical cylinder, and this is also the axis of the vertical cylinder. Now in the second statement it was given that the axis of both the solids are bisecting each other at right angles. So we have to draw first a line at a distance of 50 mm from the base. This is the base of the cylinder. So from here we will draw a line, that is a dotted line, center line at a distance of 50 mm. Since in the question it was given that the axes are bisecting each other, so this line will represent the axis of the square prism will be passing through this point, that is intersection of this center line and the vertical center line. So this point represents the axis of the vertical horizontal square prism. So in order to mark the axis we have taken a distance 50 mm. Since in the question it was given bisecting, that is the axis of the square prism will divide the axis of the vertical prism in two equal halves. So 50 from bottom and 50 from top. Now in the next step, we will draw first the side view of the horizontal square prism. So in order to draw the horizontal square prism, first draw a square of side 40 mm anywhere here. Now after drawing this square, draw the diagonals. The diagonals will intersect each other. Now in order to draw the square here, we have to draw the square in the form of a kite, because it was given in the question that the sides of the square prism are equally inclined to HP. So the square to be drawn here should be in the form of a kite. So for drawing that, first draw a square here of side 40 mm, since it is given in the question that the square prism has side of base as 40 mm. Draw the diagonals. Now take the distance equal to half of the diagonal, that is on rounder take distance from center to the end. You can also take this distance from center to the end, that is you have to take a distance half of the diagonal. Now place your rounder at this point, that is at the center of two intersecting lines, and cut four arcs, one on top, one on left, one on bottom and one on right, and finally join all the arcs to complete the square. So we have completed the square of side 40 mm. Now after drawing the square in the side view, now we will project the top view and the front view of this square prism. So we will project the top view first. Before projecting, we have marked the corners as 1, 3, 5 and 7. It is not necessary to mark the same points. You can name the points in any way as you like. But here I have marked points as 1, 3, 5 and 7. Now we will project all the points in the top view one by one. So first I have projected point 3 on the 45-degree line, then I have projected point 7 up to the 45-degree line, and the center line is already projected. Now we will extend this position line in the top view. So we have extended this position line up till here and up till here. Now we will complete the top view of the square prism, which will be a rectangle. So finally we have completed top view. You have projected this point 3 and then projected in the top view. Also we have projected point 7 and then we have projected it in the top view. Now this length will be equal to given dimension, that is 120 mm. So in the top view, the rectangle which represents the top view of the square prism will be a rectangle of length 120 mm. Now you can see that from top view you can observe two faces of the square prism, that is face 1 to 3 and face 1 to 1. These two lines represent two faces. 1 to 3 will represent one rectangular face and 1 to 7 will represent second rectangular face. So in the top view we have got two rectangles. First rectangle is this and the second rectangle is this. In order to draw this rectangle, you have to take a distance of 60 mm from the center. That is from center you will take 60 mm towards right and 60 mm towards left. So you can see that I have marked a distance of 60 mm. Total length is 120 mm. And from center you have to take 60 mm towards right and 60 mm towards left, and then complete the rectangle after taking the projection of these points in the top view. Now one thing to note is that these lines are made as dotted. This is because when this prism is inserted inside this cylinder, this portion of the edges will not be visible from the top view. since it is going inside the cylinder, so the portion of the edges, that is H1, H7, H5 and H3 of the square prism which is going inside this cylinder, that is these portions will remain hidden. So in order to show the hidden edges, we have made this part as dotted, whereas the portion lying outside the cylinder will be visible from the top view, so it is made as dark. Now we will project the front view. In order to project the front view, first we have to project the length 120 mm by projecting these two extreme lines in the front view. So we will project it. So I have projected the length by drawing this line and this line. Just you have to project in vertical upward direction. Now we will project the side view in the front view. So for drawing this rectangle, just draw two vertical lines from the end in the front view and project points 1, 3 and 5 from the side view into the front view. So and complete the rectangle in the front view. Now again you can see here that from the side view, two rectangular faces of the square prism will be visible. Rectangular face represented by line 1 to 7 and rectangular face represented by line 7 to 5. So from the side view we can see two rectangular faces, 1 to 7 and 7 to 5. So in the front view we have to draw two rectangles. First rectangle on the upper side, this rectangle, and the second rectangle. You can see that the front view of this square prism has two rectangles, one first and second. This is because from the side view two rectangular faces will be visible, 1 to 7 and 7 to 5. Also this portion is kept as dotted because this portion of the square prism will lie inside the vertical cylinder, and since it will lie inside the vertical cylinder, this will be not visible in the front view, and since it is hidden, it has to be marked as hidden line. Also this portion from here to here is also hidden, so we have drawn it as a hidden line. Now we will mark some points of intersection. Till now we have completed the front view, top view and side view of the vertical cylinder as well as the square prism. Now in the third step we will mark some points of intersection. Now students, it is understandable that in this sum the vertical object is a cylinder whose curved surface will be a whose lateral surface will be a curved surface, whereas the horizontal object is a square prism whose lateral surface will be a plane surface. But since there is a cylinder present as one of the object, while joining the points we have to draw curves of intersection. We cannot draw here lines of intersection. I have already told that whenever any one object from the two objects is either cylinder or cone, we will always draw line curves of intersection. Whereas if the lateral surface of both the intersecting solids are plane surface, like intersection of two square prisms or intersection of a square prism and a triangular prism, then we will draw lines of intersection. And since in this sum one object is cylinder, we have to draw curves of intersection. Also, in order to draw any curve, you need minimum 3 points. But you can see here, in order to join point 1 to 7, 7 to 5 or 5 to 3 or 3 to 1, we do not have the third extra point. So we have to mark the third extra point so that we can draw the curve in the front view. So along with these points, we have to mark some extra points so that we can draw the curve. So we will mark some extra points. So you have seen that we have marked points 2, 4, 6 and 8. Now point 2 is lying at the center of 1 and 3. That is, you have to just bisect line 1 and 3. Take the midpoint of 1 to 3, mark it as point 2. Similarly, take the midpoint of 3 to 5, mark it as point number 4. And again take the midpoint of 5 to 7, mark it as point number 6. And again take the midpoint of 7 to 1 and mark it as point number 8. So if now we have to draw curve from 1 to 3, we have the additional point 2. So we can draw the curve easily passing through point 1, 2 and 3. We cannot draw curve if we have only 2 points. In order to draw the curve, we need at least 3 points. So we have marked this extra point. Similarly, in order to draw the curve passing through point 3 and 5, now we have the extra point 4. So we can join the curve as 3 to 4, 4 to 5. Similarly, we can join the curve from 5 to 6, 6 to 7. So always keep in mind that whenever you have to draw curves of intersection, you need at least 3 points, because curves cannot be drawn with the help of 2 points. So we have to mark extra point, which are nothing but the midpoints of the sides. Now we will project all the points of intersection in the top view also, one by one. So now we are projecting the points one by one. So first we have projected point 2 and point 4 in the top view. Point 3 is also projected in the top view. Now point 1 and 5 are also projected with the help of center line. Now we will project the next point, that is point number 8 and point number 6. Projection means you have to just simply draw vertical lines, light lines passing through these points up to the 45-degree line, and then project these lines in the top view. So next step will be point number 8 and 6. So we have drawn vertical line from 8 to 6 and then projected in the top view, and the last point will be point number 7, that is also projected in the top view. After projecting these points in the top view, now we will mark the points of intersection in the top view. Now you can see that this point number 3, this line intersects the cylinder at this point and this point. So these 2 points will be marked as point number 3. So we have marked point number 3. Now the next point to be marked as point number 2 and point number 4. So we have projected this line representing point number 2 and point number 4. So wherever this line intersects the cylinder, that is this point and this point, that will be marked as point number 2 and point number 4 respectively. So point number 2 and point number 4. Now 1 and 5 are lying on the center line. So wherever this center line intersects the vertical cylinder, that is this point and this point, they will be marked as point number 1 and point number 5. So we have marked point number 1 and point number 5. The next point we marked are point number 8 and 6. So we have projected point number 8 and 6. So this line, wherever it cuts the vertical cylinder, that will be marked as point number 8 and point number 6. So this point and this point will be marked as 8 and 6. So 8 and 6, and the last point is point number 7. So after projecting point 7, this line cuts the cylinder at this point and this point. So they will be marked as point number 7. So we have finally marked all the points of intersection from 1 to 8 in the top view. Now we have to draw the curves of intersection in the front view. So in order to draw the curves of intersection in the front view, we have to project all the points of intersection in the front view also. In order to mark the points of intersection in the front view, you have to project or draw position lines from the top view into the front view, and also from the side view into the front view. That is, you have to draw horizontal position lines from the side view into the front view, that is lines parallel to these two lines, and lines parallel to these two lines, that is, you have to draw vertical lines passing through the top view into the front view. Now we will mark the points of intersection one by one. So you can see that we have marked point number 1 and 1. This point or this line represents point number 1, whereas point number 1 from the top view is represented by this vertical line, that is this line and this line. So wherever this vertical line intersects with this horizontal line, that will be marked as point number 1. So we have marked point number 1 on left and point number 1 on right also. Similarly, now we will mark the next point, that is point number 2 and 8. So draw horizontal projection line parallel to this line passing through point number 8 and 2, and vertical projection line passing through point number 2 in from the top view. So we have drawn vertical lines passing through 6 and 2 from the top view into the front view. Also we have drawn the horizontal lines passing through point 8 and 2. So wherever this horizontal line and this vertical line intersect each other, that will be marked as point 2 and 8 respectively. So we have marked point 2 and 8 and 4 and 6 also. Now from the side view, when you observe this square prism, point number 8 and point number 2 are collinear. That is, they will lie on a single line. So while marking them in the front view, they will be coinciding with each other. So point number 2 and point number 8 are coinciding with each other. Similarly, point number 6 and point number 4 will be coinciding with each other when you observe from the side view. So while marking the point 4 and 6 in the front view, they will be marked as single point. Now next we will mark point number 3 and 7. Whichever points you are marking on the left side, same points have to be marked using the same method on the right side also. Now in order to mark point number 3 you and 7, you have to draw vertical lines passing through point number 3 into the front view from here, and also vertical line passing through point 3 and 7 into the front view. And then wherever these center line representing point number 3 and point number 7 cuts the vertical lines, that will be marked as point number 3 and 7 respectively. Now see how we mark it. So first I have drawn vertical projection lines passing through 7 and 3, that is this line. Again this line passing through 7 and 3. So two vertical lines representing point number 7 and point number 3. Now this horizontal line, that is the center line representing point number 3 and point number 7, cuts these two vertical lines at this point first, and the second point is this. So they will be marked as point number 3 and 7 respectively. So we have marked point 3 and 7. Again from the side view, when you observe the square prism, point number 7 and point number 3 will be lying in a straight line. So we will mark these points together on the left side as well as on the right side. Now finally we have marked all the points of intersection in the front view. Now we will join these points of intersection by using proper sequence. The sequence will be 1 to 8, 8 to 7, 7 to 6 and 6 to 5. So 1 to 8, 8 to 7, 7 to 6 and 6 to 5. So 1 to 8, 8 to 7, 7 to 6, 6 to 5. Again on the right side we will follow the same sequence: 1 to 8, 8 to 7, 7 to 6 and 6 to 5. So 1 to 8, 8 to 7, 7 to 6 and 6 to 5. So finally we have completed the curves of intersection. Now you can